Hello, my little miracle workers. How you doing? Welcome back. We are on lesson 213 of Course in Miracles workbook, still in the review, but they have been so powerful. So let's start by breathing in. We're doing that same mantra, which I love. You should have it completely memorized by now. Okay. I am not a body. I am free, for I am still as God created me. Here we go. Okay. From lesson 193, we are reviewing all things are lessons God would have me learn. A lesson, oh God, it sure is. Sorry, I just like skipping up. A lesson is a miracle which God offers to me in place of thoughts I made that hurt me. God, this is like so nailing it right now for me. What I learn of him becomes the way I am set free. And so I choose to learn his lessons and forget my own. We are talking about triggers and suppressed wounds. And when we come across another brother and we are triggered directly from whatever that ego of that brother is hurling at us, or our minds are replaying a narrative from the past, man, sometimes we think, God, I've been skipping along. I've been doing this work. God and I, we are like working together. We are in tandem. And then all of a sudden it feels like some dark, evil force comes out of the bushes and is there to throw us off track. And we're just thinking, God, I don't understand though. We had an agreement. We had an arrangement here. We are working in tandem. Why are you throwing this on my path? Why are you trying to test me? And God's like, hey, I'm not testing you. This is the unwinding, the undoing. And in order to do that, there are some triggers that are absolutely crucial, which they are not. God is not, it has nothing to do with that. It is our own projection of very, very deep suppressed stuff. But because it's still hidden deep in the crevices of our soul, of our pain body, we are still going to project stuff. And the mind will draw in beautiful, what turns out to be beautiful lessons that are miracles when you see them for that. When you see, oh my God, this person, that circumstance managed to bring out some of the deepest, darkest shit that was buried, like in the cracks, the nooks and crannies, like a Thomas's English muffin, the nooks and crannies that I thought I healed. But I needed that lesson, that trigger, that whatever. God is not controlling the trigger. God is not bringing the trigger. We ourselves, the energy that is stored within, that is part of this undoing, that is what is bringing this lesson to us. Because we're ready. We're finally ready. We're at this point, in this course, where we are absolutely ready to face and drudge up the shit. And it does sometimes take a person that feels really not comfortable. But once it comes to the light, you don't even have to examine it. Once it's like exposed, it dissolves and boom, that's your miracle. And God is there supporting you in the light. He is there in the light and he sees whatever wound that was. He doesn't see wounds. He's only shining this bright light for the wound to just go. That's why he doesn't see the ego. He doesn't see the triggers. He doesn't even see the wounds. All he sees is light. Our job is to bring that up to the light. And with the support of God, pushing us to the light, pushing us to the light, there only is light. There only is light. And our ego is pushing down all this stuff. And then we have that lesson, that trigger, whatever it is. But it becomes the miracle. The lesson is the miracle. The miracle is the lesson. And as soon as it's exposed, it's in the light. God's there in the light. And that wound just immediately kind of withers away. It falls off like a scab. And it really feels like, oh my God, that's the miracle. It's not necessarily winning the lottery, although you can win the lottery. That, abundance is a miracle. But to be aligned with the things you want in life and that abundance, it's not going to be dressed in ego. And when you can release certain patterns in the wounds that are like hidden in the dark, dark corners of our minds, you will get abundance in the most everlasting, eternal way. I mean, that abundance will last when you start to clear out the closet. And then you can really attract what is aligned with your soul. I mean, people attract abundance all the time with a bunch of suppressed wounds. That's why they could be sitting on a bucket of cash and still wonder, why the frick am I not happy? They can attract stuff for sure, and to the naked eye it looks very abundant, but they're not feeling that abundant. Why? Because they're not aligned with that abundance. You can still manifest it, but you won't enjoy it. And you won't use it for something that really fills your soul anyway. So there's just a misalignment. But you can create anything you want. But the true creation is the miracle in the lessons, by peeling off the layers of the wounds and the ego, the stuff that really is illusory. It is the illusion. It feels very real because we've made it real. We put it there and made it super real. God's like, the only real is that light. As soon as you can recognize the trigger in the wound, it immediately goes into the light where it just falls away. Now, this can be a process. It's a process because there's probably lots of wounds, there's lots of layers, and allow the process to kind of like, it's like when you're replacing your water filter in your fridge and you got to kind of run the water to get all the gunky stuff out of the old area where the filter was, and then putting in the new filter. So you got to kind of run the water on this. You're going to have to run it through the system until the water is clean and clear and drinkable. But that's all you're doing. So you're just kind of trying to washing through until you get to a place where I think I've cleaned out most of the residue. There's still going to be bits and bobs probably until the day we die, but you're going to get through the most of it. And yeah, I mean, the goal of this course is to not get duped. Even sometimes the ego is tricky and making you think you still have residue when you look at something that maybe is not super pleasing, but boy, you can go back to the stillness, the light, the space, and say, I'm not getting duped. Because it's not real. Whatever I'm looking at, that's not real. And it's in that, and it's just healed. That's when your mind is healed. Even if you do sometimes get a little, you can immediately go, nope. The lesson is the miracle. And it's just that flashlight that shows that just reveals the trigger, and then it just dissipates, and God is just that light. God is not controlling the lessons. God is not controlling the triggers. God does not have anything to do with the wounds. That, my friend, is our ego 1000% of the time, since the day we were born, since lives before. So, yeah, God doesn't see the shitty things that we do and the shitty things that people do. Just doesn't see it. He's basked in light and only sees us basked in light, the truth of us. So that was lesson 213. A lesson is in all things are lessons God would have me learn. I am not a body, I am free, for I am still as God created me. Thank you again for joining me. Until next lesson, take care.